Hello. So I'm having an interesting observation right now. It's about energy, the energy of mood. So I've been doing a lot of recordings, connecting a lot with Omar and feeling him around quite a lot, which I could say about other energies that I've connected with. Like there's nothing, I'm rolling my eyes at myself. There's nothing weird about it. It sounds weird coming out of my mouth. Talk about wondering about being crazy or connected. I've asked myself that question probably hundreds of times. Or am I not even crazy, crazy, although I've asked that many times, but starting to lose my grip with reality? Although one of the ways that we can tell that we're not is that we get a reality check from somebody else. So, in the case of these videos that I've been doing for the last few weeks, I mean, I'm getting some out there information if you've been watching. But then I send the videos to Scott each time. And if he responded with feedback, which he pretty much did every time, it was always like positive reinforcement for the information that I got, that he really resonated with it, that it was spot on. These are words that he used. Well, he didn't use resonated, but he did use spot on. He validated everything that I got that was related to him. So that's part of how you know, because you have these weird experiences. I mean, yeah, even I'm like, 10 years ago, I would have been afraid I was actually falling off the edge if I would have known some of the things that I experience or pick up on now. But I've grown used to it and I've done a lot of readings over the last several years. And I mean, since about 2017 or so, when I was training in medical intuition and picking up things that I was like, what the hell? As it's coming out of my mouth. And the other person was validating it. So that's part of how you know is that you check it. Maybe it's what's coming to me is like when you're young and you start doing art and you think it's crap, but then other people love it and you're like, what the F? Like, really? That's art? I was just scribbling. But to other people. And then at some point you learn to be like, oh, well, okay. Uh, I guess I do have value in this area, or I'm bringing value in this area, whatever it is. Anyway, so I'm feeling very connected to Omar in a lot of ways. Like he's literally just a thought away. And when I had somebody over earlier who I was doing some talking with and starting a reading with, and he chimed in a couple of times about things, but it was appropriate stuff for what was happening, and he was just bringing some humor. Anyway, and I have struggled in my life with, I think, low grade depression. I mean, not even really feeling very aware of it, to be honest. It was just, I always felt kind of blah. And there's this stiffness that I feel in my face. And I talked about this actually recently somewhere, probably in a video. I don't remember it. It doesn't matter. But uh like a tension, I guess. I don't think I'm tense, but like stiff. Anyway, I was feeling it today for the last few hours. And as I'm trying to figure all of this out for myself and what this means to me, like how I can actually process it. And, I have these little bits that I get, and sometimes these little ahas that I get. And anyway, when I was talking to Omar yesterday, I was noticing how my energy was like kind of elated. And I was like, dude, what is happening? This is wonderful. Because it was like how light and airy I feel when I'm kind of high on sleep gummies. And that's not how I usually walk around in the world. I have my moments. I don't think I walk around as depressed, but I was just having like this flashback to that the last few hours of really feeling like it. And I've been working on myself differently for the last few months, trying to notice resistance when I have resistance to things. And I think those two things are related. That heavy energy makes you be like, oh, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? Like I was doing things and I was like I copied all these recipes and then I was like deleting them, like, oh, who cares? Sorry, who cares? And my mood just felt pretty intense and very familiar in a negative way for me. And I'm not blaming it on Omar at all because that's what I've been sitting in for decades at times. But it occurred to me that that would also maybe have him feel more connected to me. And I'm getting yes to that. So maybe, just maybe, there are times when we feel a way and it's just a fucking energy. And if we can recognize it's not us, like inherently us, then maybe we can find some other person or something to attribute it to. Like, oh, maybe this is from Omar. Maybe I just had a friend talk about this with her dad who recently passed, that she felt all this anxiety. And then she realized, wait a minute. And she was able to identify, this isn't me. I think this is connected to my dad. And when she was able to see it that way, she was able to release it. There's something freeing about recognizing, oh, thank goodness, that's not just who I am. And I'm just, everything that I'm bringing up about all of this stuff is just an offering of a perspective that may or may not be different than how you already think and may or may not even be helpful at all. But I love the idea of finding a new and different way to look at all of this so it's more empowering and kind of soothing. Now he's helping me. Soothing, and he's giving me the word. And empowering. Yeah. Oh, now he's kicking in. Okay. And something about having a more severe commitment to yourself to not fall into the trappings of negative moods. Well, listen to you, Mr. Wisdom. Ah, Omar. And I have a dear friend who will watch this video. Hello. And I think she's a bit worried about me and she's picking up on things about protecting myself from Omar's energy, which I get because, I'm kind of naively walking into this and I'm trusting him at his word. And he's learning how to give his word and keep his word. And I feel like when we have conversations, I can feel the authenticity, which is part of why I cry when we talk. And he's sharing deep shit with me, with us, really, not with me, just. And I'm loving it. And that's also like a good way to suck me in if he's trying to have somebody that he can have this kind of companionship with, because his life is changing. His base foundation person is making some changes and getting some new awareness. And as Omar has shared, he's making a joke. It's lonely at the top. He's being a goofball. But this is like a real serious subject. I think in this idea of cultivating our awareness, and he's bringing up the idea of like a more divine connection, that these interferences, maybe we can have more awareness around and constitution. I think he's saying recog I don't know what he's saying. Sorry, I'm getting recognize, relax, words that look that way, and something about our own constitution. But the feeling that I get, the sense I get about what he's saying is to recognize what really is like kind of us, how we operate, how we live, how our energy, our own energy feels. And I guess because, and I do want to thank you, Omar, because I'm going to acknowledge you every time I have an opportunity, that connecting with you has risen my energy at times, as well as being excited about all of this coming together because you've been so open. So that's even giving me a little bit more contrast between that old ick heavy feeling that I was just experiencing for the last couple of hours. And so it makes it even a little more apparent, excuse me, and I've kind of pushed myself to do a few things that I wasn't going to do because I was resisting, because my mood was low, which perpetuates that crappy feeling. So I don't know if this is going to be helpful for anybody else right now. However, it's feeling pretty like insightful for me as a way to be more aware of how to manage my own mood, because I want to fucking enjoy myself in this life more than I have. And this feels like part of the key to doing that. And also, and this feels super important, is that I said with love to Omar, because then I'm feeling nervous. My friend is like worried about me and protect yourself, protect yourself. And then I'm feeling this like low, crappy heaviness. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm falling into this trap with Omar. And here I go. And then I was like, wait, no, no, I don't want to do that. And then I was like, well, this feels so crappy though. And then I was like, and so I had to have this moment of like, no, I'm not doing that. I am not going back. I am not going there with you. You, and I said this to him just a moment ago, which is part of why I started recording. I was like, you should come with me. Don't try to get me to come with you because I know he wants a change and I know he wants more light in his life. And not that I am the source of that for him, but joining him in that dark heaviness, that isn't supporting anybody. Certainly, it's not going to support my poor husband that would then have to live with that because that sucks. Anyway, I hope this is helpful and leave me some comments and let me know what you think and if you can relate. Or if you don't want to leave a comment, please email me and let me know what you think about any of these videos and if they're helping or opening something up for you. And I don't know, any thoughts that you have about that that are supportive or connected in that kind of way. My email is connectingwithnoelle, Noelle, just like my YouTube channel, connectingwithnoelle@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram, same handle. Let me know. I would like to hear from you. Anyway, I'm thinking about you who's listening to this, and Omar wants me to say from both of us goodbye. See you later.